Imagine spending your entire life chasing approval, shaping yourself to fit expectations that aren't even yours. How much stress do you carry, worrying about what others think? What if the key to happiness was actually about not caring? Have you ever noticed how the moment you stop caring about someone's approval, they suddenly care more about you? Funny how life works, isn't it? Today, we're exploring a mind-blowing philosophy by Michel de Montaigne that flips everything you thought you knew upside down. If you've ever felt trapped by trying to impress everyone, stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll understand why letting go is your secret weapon. Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine your whole life spent shaping yourself just to fit into someone else's expectations. You're always worried, always wondering, do they like me? Did I say something stupid? Sounds exhausting, right? That's exactly how most people live, constantly chasing validation and fearing judgment. Michel de Montaigne, a thinker from centuries ago, looked at this and said, "No way, there's a better path." He argued something radical. The moment you stop caring about what everyone else thinks, life actually starts working in your favor. But hold up. This isn't about becoming careless or lazy. It's about finding freedom from those heavy chains of approval and judgment. So why do we care so much anyway? Montaigne noticed that humans are natural worriers. We're always trying to control outcomes, predict reactions, and avoid mistakes. But here's a secret. Perfection doesn't exist. Life is unpredictable, messy, and full of surprises. Trying to control everything just adds unnecessary stress. Picture this. Have you ever hesitated to say what's on your mind because you're scared someone might laugh or disagree? Ever replayed a conversation a million times because you're worried you said something wrong? Montaigne saw this clearly. We become prisoners in our own minds, trapped by worries that don't really matter. Now here's where people usually mess up. They think if they stop caring, they'll lose motivation or become indifferent. Nope, that's a huge misunderstanding. Letting go isn't about not caring at all. It's about caring only about what truly matters. Montaigne calls us to free ourselves from pointless worries and focus our energy on things that genuinely enrich our lives. Imagine waking up and suddenly realizing all those precious fears and expectations were never real. They were illusions created by society and your mind. That's exactly the moment Montaigne wants us to experience. A profound shift in perspective. It's not about solving every little problem. It's about accepting some things will always be out of our hands. Here's the funny paradox Montaigne uncovered. The less you try to impress others, the more impressive you become. Think about the most confident person you've ever met. Were they constantly begging for attention and approval? Probably not. They were likely calm, genuine, and completely okay with who they are. That's magnetic. That's authentic. Now let's talk about relationships. Ever noticed that when you desperately chase someone's attention, they pull away? But the moment you stop chasing, suddenly they're interested. Montaigne explained, this isn't coincidence. It's because when you let go, you're no longer suffocating relationships with anxiety and expectations. You become easy to be around, naturally drawing people closer. But why don't more people do this? Simple. Fear. We're conditioned to think that control equals security. We believe if we plan carefully and worry enough, we can avoid bad things happening. Montaigne calls this out as the illusion it is. You can't control everything. Life will always throw curveballs. Embracing uncertainty rather than fearing it is the key to genuine peace. Ever had a moment where you stopped obsessing over a problem and suddenly a solution popped into your head? Or when you stopped desperately searching for something and it appeared effortlessly? Montaigne points out that life flows better when we stop resisting it. Letting go creates space for amazing things to happen naturally. Imagine your life without the weight of constant worry. How much lighter would you feel if you stopped overthinking every tiny decision? What if you saw failure not as something terrifying, but simply part of the journey? Montaigne reminds us, every great artist, leader, and innovator faced rejection and failure. What made them successful wasn't avoiding setbacks. It was refusing to let setbacks define them. Think about the greatest moments of your life. Were they perfectly planned, or did they happen spontaneously? Love, inspiration, creativity, these things rarely follow a schedule. They thrive in spaces of freedom, where there's no pressure to force outcomes. Montaigne encourages us to let go of control, accept unpredictability, and dance with life rather than fight it. But here's another powerful insight. Detachment doesn't isolate you. In fact, Montaigne says it deepens your connections with others. When you let go of trying to control everyone around you, relationships become genuine. You're no longer burdened by constant anxiety or expectations. People around you feel more comfortable, respected, and valued, ironically, drawing them closer to you. Let's be honest. How much of your stress is caused by worrying what other people think? Montaigne's solution is simple. Shift your focus inward. True peace doesn't come from external approval, but from accepting yourself fully. When you stop fearing criticism, stop chasing validation, and stop trying to control everyone, you become truly free. Here's the ultimate takeaway from Montaigne's philosophy. Letting go isn't about giving up. It's about gaining clarity, freedom, and authenticity. It's about understanding what matters and letting go of what doesn't. When you stop caring about the wrong things, life aligns beautifully with what truly matters to you. Picture walking through life unshaken by criticism, facing uncertainty without fear, and building relationships without pressure. That's Montaigne's powerful vision. A life where you're not held back by unnecessary burdens. So let me ask you, what unnecessary stress or expectations can you let go of today? What would your life look like if you truly embraced uncertainty and accepted yourself completely? Because the moment you stop caring about the wrong things, you'll find everything starts falling perfectly into place. Thanks for watching.